Hello, everybody, and welcome to my weird, wonderful world. And of course, welcome all the Sparks fans, because this is for you, of course. This is a supplemental to my Sparkstember. It took me all afternoon to do this because I had to listen to the first four albums, well, most of it, and fast forwarding the stuff I don't really need to. I didn't actually have to listen to I didn't have to listen to propaganda or Kimono My House, but I play some of it. Not all of it, but the good stuff. And but I did actually play Halfnelson today. I'm calling it Halfnelson. We know it's called Sparks, but I'm calling it Halfnelson. And I had to replay a Woofer Tweeter's closing, and got to the calculations and came to some realizations, and it really does follow close to how I like each of the albums. Okay, I'm just kind of going to go into it. Let's, so so we're catching up on the rankings. I will recap very quickly, okay, that we've done indiscreet, okay? Oh, yeah, we've done indiscreet. Those are the scores. I don't know how long this episode is going to be, but it does not matter. I'm going to go as long as it needs to be, and I will be leaving timestamps at the bottom so you can get right to to which ones you want to look at. So I did indiscreet. I did big beat. There's the scores, and and again they could change. They could change because yeah, some of those because if some of these other ones, if I would have, here's introducing Sparks. Here's the score for that. Scores, okay. I'm not going to show you the tallies for the other ones yet because I did add them all together. I'll get to that when I get to that. So skip that. And so, yeah, we're going to go with Half Nelson first. And so, okay, with Half Nelson, I re-listened to it. So I just want to kind of give the scores because I don't want this to be too long, but I still do want to go and give if I had a couple more thoughts, which I do. So Wonder Girl, I gave it an 8.5. Bala Bali, I gave it a 9 because I really like that. Roger ended up getting an 8.5. Not too bad. These are all good scores. High C got a 9, right off, a nice solid 9, which is good. But your Honorama got a 9.5. Yeah, I like, there's certain kind of cool instrumentations in that I really like. I do love the part where it goes dun 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 dun, dun and then it starts fading out and only to come back in again is, I don't know. I think that's pretty. You know, Ron is good. Ron, like, he has some chops to him. If you know what I mean. I love that. Okay, a Simple Ballet. I gave that an 8.5. Before I probably would have given it an 8, but on further listenings, it went up in the ranking, 8.5. Slow Boat, which I think is a prelude to Bon Voyage. I gave that an 8.5. I gave Biology 2 also an 8.5, only because of how quirky it is. Really, and going sonically of how the song is, it's not a great song. It's a really weird and bizarre and quirky song. There's no real beat to it that you can tap your toes to. It's just clunky and strange. And I kind of like it because it's clunky and strange. But as a song goes, I would probably give that an 8. But I'm giving it an 8.5 because I'm adding that zero point 0.5 for the strangeness. I still kind of like it. Saccharine in the War, I gave that an 8.5. There's a trend going on here. Big bands, I gave that an 8.5. because there's a good consistency with this album. Everything is, as you see, nothing so far got a 9.5 or higher. Not the highest, all the highest score so far in the whole thing has been 9, except for No More Mr. Nice Guys, which gets a 9.5, which no tens, but yeah. So here's now my score for Sparks Half Nelson. Take a look at that, and if you have any questions about how I, you know, about this rating system, do you think it works? Do you think it's a good viable? I think it works perfect. I think it works exactly the way it should work, and I'm pretty happy with it because it really does. I'm seeing that it does reflect how I feel, and you might think, well, you really rate those songs that? You'll see as we go. You'll see as I go. Now let's go and rate a Woofer and Tweeter's closing. So starting with a girl from Germany, that gets a solid 9, and it's maybe because I'm more familiar with it because because the first time I heard it was on my past tense. Yeah, so when I heard it on past tense, yeah, I'm probably would have given it a lower score. Like I said, these scores are subject to change over time. These are just my initial thoughts from this first listen. It'll be interesting to go back next Sparkstember, do this again and compare, but be able to compare my notes of how much they changed over a year. Each one that I do for these, and by that time, by next Sparkstember, I should have all the collection of Sparks. I should have everything by then. I'm hoping. Yeah, that's the plan. Well, anyway, so Beaver Old Lindy. I have to give that a 9 out of 10 also because I like the BEAVEROLINDY. Just having a song that spells out couple of words like that, I love that. I think it's awesome. Nothing is sacred. I gave it an 8.5. Here comes Bob, an 8.5. Moon over Kentucky, that gets a 9 because it's really good. Um, you Do Re Mi, okay? You may be surprised. I know some people really don't like it. They think it's cheesy and they did a re. I give it a 9. I really like it. And, so what is it? Because it's from The Sound of Music. Well, who cares? It's still. I like the way they do it, and they make it really really fun. Angus Desire, that gets the lowest score for at the moment now at 8 out of 10. I mean, it's not a bad song. I mean, it doesn't get low. I mean, it's not. I'm not giving anything a. Remember, so far I only gave one song a 7.5, and that was. Let me get back to it. Under the Table with Her. I know. A lot of people like that, but that's the only one so far I gave that low of a score. So, I mean, still though, think of it, 80% of I love something 80%. It's still pretty darn good. Um, so Underground. Wow, that got the first 9.5 on this one. It got a 9.5, which means I really like it. The Louvre got an 8.5. I mean, it's an okay song. I mean, I like the French. I like how well Russell is doing the French in that. And then battery's not included. It's such a short little song, but I still wanted to give it a little. I mean, you can barely call it a song. It's more like a weird intermission kind of, or even an intro to the next song. So I gave batteries not included. I had to be a little generous with it, so I give it an 8. Whippings and apologies. There's my second 9.5 on this list. And again, giving it an overall score of, and as you may notice, the same score as with The same score as with Halfnelson. They got the exact same score, 8.772. 8.7. Oh, I'm hiding it. 8.772. Imagine that. So that means I pretty much love them equally, and I can't argue with that. So at the end of the month, when I'm doing my ranking, my tally, and going from the one that had the most points to the least points, when it comes to ties like that, I'll use my gut feeling to choose one over the other at the moment. But right now they're even, they're equal. So I can't argue with that. Let's go with Kimono My House. Okay. Oh, and by the way, just wanted to before I leave there, before I leave this, whippings and apologies. Okay, I made sure that I went and seeked out the actual speed of it, where it's at normal speed, to make sure I'm hearing it, the way it was actually intended to be heard, rather than the sped up version that's on the album. From what I've been told. So I actually heard the actual speed. Yeah, it really deserves a 9.5 because that's a great song. It's good. Yeah, it's good. Okay, now Kimono My House. Yeah, this is pretty special. Now, right off the bat, this town amateur hour, they both get tens. Boom, boom, two tens in a row. That's great because they belong on any compilation album. And remember when I say that if it's a 9.5 or a 10, those will get those are something a guarantee will go onto a mixtape or a compilation album if I'm mixing one, you know. So so we get to number 3, Falling in Love with Myself Again, 9.5. I really do love it. Here in Heaven, 9.5. Thank God It's Not Christmas, 9.5. Hasta manana, monsieur, 9.5. Talent is an asset, 9.5. Complaints, 9.5. It's just because this album is really consistently good. And why this broke bigger than the first two? Come on. They're such great songs. They hit in the right way. They're all rocking. They're such great musical like the band. It's the band that also like gives it such a kick. I mean, then you get In My Family that gets that now it gets the lower scores of 8.5, and then Equator also an 8.5, which still is honorable. They're still really great, but oh my gosh, that opener, that opening, that whole first side, and then the first couple songs of side two, and it's just so strong. It's just such. Then of course I'm adding the bonus stuff, right? So I got Barbecuity, Lost and Found, and I'm adding the Amateur Hour, the live one, because yeah, that's just part of that now, and it counts. Okay, so Barbecuity gets a 9, a solid 9. Lost and Found gets a 9.5. I do really love it. And Amateur Hour gets a 9. I should give it a 9.5, but no, I gave it a 9. But I mean, really thinking about the performance, because like, I saw the video much after the fact of hearing the song, and yeah. So that gives it a score. Okay, look at that, a 9.346. Okay, so far it's the highest score, absolutely for sure. So they could enter that. Yeah. And then now, last but not least, and definitely not least, is Propaganda, which I have stated already is my favorite album. And I'm giving you I swear to you, because you're gonna say, oh, what? But I swear to you, this is my honest opinion about these songs. This is like, okay, Propaganda, that little intro. because it's so short and just an acapella, I have to give it something. I do give it an 8.5. Okay, because it is really good. But at home, at work, at play, when that kicks in, it's a 10. 10 out of 10. Reinforcements, I love it so much. That's a 10 out of 10. You know, BC, so fun to sing and so jaunty. That's a 10 out of 10. Thanks, but no thanks, I'm sorry, another 10 out of 10. Wow, I'm being generous here. No, no, they deserve it. Don't leave me alone with her. Another 10 out of 10. Never turn your back on Mother Earth. That's a 9.5 out of 10. Still really great, but it's a little slower, and but then you come back with the girl with everything. That's another 10. That's another 10. Wow, so many tens, so many tens. Then you get achoo. Which again, I give that a 10. I think they're all these songs. That's what makes it so. That's what makes this album my favorite. Because all those songs are so catchy. Look at if you. I'll show you this side. I'll show you this after. Kid who don't like kids. I give that an 8.5. I'm not. It's still great. It's still better than at first. I would have given it a 7, a solid 7. Okay, but I of course the more and more you hear it, the more better it gets. So I do like that now, and I also give Bon Voyage an 8.5. I mean, yeah, it's good. It's not an 8. It's not a 7.5. So I do really really like them. So this is such a great album. But I also added the bonus songs of Alabama, Alabama Right and Marry Me. I didn't add the interview because I don't think that counts. Like I'm going to rate an interview. It is a cool interview though. They're talking about caramel something, and why the first couple albums in. It's a cool interview. But Al Alabama Right, I give it 9. I give it a solid 9 because it's a good song. And Marry Me, I give that a 9.5, which gives it an overall score, basically the highest score so far. So take a gander at that, and it's a 9.5 out of 10. I mean, that's a pretty darn good score for that album. So tallying it up, okay, I tallied all those up. And so there's the scores right now. So you see that how a Woofer and Sparks and Woofer are pretty much equal, and they're pretty close again, really pretty really close to Indiscreet, Big Beat, and introducing. They're all within that range of 8.6 to 8.8, right? So so they're all pretty evenly spaced. I mean, which is pretty consistently great for Sparks. That's how much I'm. That really goes to show how much I'm loving them. But again, Kimono and Propaganda. Well, yes, they're gonna pop right up there in the and they're getting in the nines, and so. But there's tomorrow when I do number one in heaven, that we're gonna see where that lands. I think it's gonna be pretty. I think that might even, from what I'm thinking right now, I don't even have to. you know, it's going to be high. But is it going to be higher or even like than these two? I don't know because remember, I'm averaging it out of 6 songs, so that could have an influence on that. And again, if do you agree with my rating system or not? Do you see any flaws with my rating system? If you do, let me know. But like I said, at the end of the month, I will be putting personal feelings into the overall review of it all. Okay, that's it. 20 minutes. I thought it was going to go a whole lot longer, but yeah, and before I go, I just also want to say that I listened to just No, I mean, just before starting this, I was listening to, because I had to write all this down, right? I was listening to the demos from Kimono My House. I was listening to all the demos from that, and that was awesome. That was awesome. I really love that. Some of the songs that you know, it makes some of the songs makes it easier to learn the lyrics to some of those other songs, like "Marry Me," for example. It's because they're singing it slower, and you can hear every line like clearly. Whereas if you're hearing it on the album, it can like, what is he saying there? You know? So yeah. So okay. So now but although like it still has the lyrics in it, it's just like yeah. Okay. All right. I'm done. I'm done. I'm loving this month for sure. Doing all these Sparks videos. I still want to give you some other different type of videos, and I will. I'm going to try to squeeze them in here and there. But yeah, doing these Sparks videos will take a little bit of time out of my day, and but I do it because I love you guys and hope I can turn people on to Sparks and how great of a band they are. So anyway, okay, I'm done. I'm done. If you love my channel and you and for if you consider subscribing to my channel, I will greatly appreciate it and love you forever. There's a lot to it, and it may not be for everybody, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So, okay, everybody, please be safe. Take care. I will see you on the flip side. And please, everybody, have a great day, evening, morning, night, afternoon, wherever you may be. Peace, everybody. Yeah, I kind of got a little flustered at the end there. Bye, everybody.